And now Undaunted has gathered that colonial La Republic du Cameroon, in a face-saving move, is marking Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, when gifts are traditionally given to the poor, with a nationwide gift drive for children displaced by the Ambazonian War of Independence. The colonial La Republic du Cameroon authorities are using churches and aid groups to provide food, books and school fees to tens of thousands of children displaced by the Liberation War. More than 300 children victims of the armed conflict gathered Monday, December 26th at the Banjul Community Hall in the colonial capital Yaoundé to receive Boxing Day gifts. The day after Christmas is traditionally when people in Britain and Commonwealth countries like Ambazonia give gifts to the poor, while many churches and aid groups on Boxing Day support refugee children with gifts, and this year was the first to be coordinated both in La Republic and Ambazonia. 17-year-old Albert Ndip says the $50 he received from the Colonial City Council will help him register to sit the 2023 General Certificate of Education examination. He says, "I am very happy for the food, school fees and dresses, clothing that they have given to us, but I pray that the government should stop the fighting, the killing, and school should start back in my village so that I can go back there and school." This is what he has to say. In 2018 fled the restive town of Menji, Lebialem County, after colonial La Republic du Cameroon military torched their home and wounded his parents. He has since lived in a Roman Catholic orphanage in Yaoundé, while his father, mother and sister are still in Menji local government area. Authorities say the Boxing Day gift drives aims to ease suffering for tens of thousands of children displaced by the Ambazonian War of Independence, now in its 6th year. Fai Kaisen Indi, coordinator of the Cameroon Youth Development Organization, said it's all about bringing smiles to children's faces. Quote, "Children that have been displaced are living in a very deplorable situation," Indi says, and he says, "We thought it necessary that we could seek assistance and donations from some of our elites, and then we get to these children so that some that didn't have anything to eat at all can have something to eat for at least that day." When they were coming, you could see on their faces that they were not comfortable, but when they were leaving, we saw smiles on their faces. La Republic du Cameroon's brutal and cruel military attacked more than 200 government schools between 2017 and 2019, forcing nearly all schools across Ambazonia to close to shut down. The UN says more than 700,000 children have been impacted by the school closures, while many remaining in the war-torn Ambazonia are threatened by violence, kidnapping, early marriage, or being recruited into army groups. For the children that flee, colonial authorities say most are not able to afford education and struggle to fit in. Wilfred Wambeng Ndong, the highest colonial La Republic du Cameroon's government official in charge of elementary education in the northern zone of Ambazonia, said the conflict's psychological impact on children is harrowing. Quote, "The children in the northern zone have gone through very disturbing times due to insecurity, and once displaced, you bear with me, you already have some psychological instability, he told VOA via a messaging app from the Menda local government area. Quote, "Some of the children found themselves in new environments and in new schools, and they had to grapple with the new environment and performance that was much more trouble for the children. The war has claimed more than 40,000 lives and counting and sent over 1,500 as refugees. Over 500 homes and villages have been burnt down by the genocidal colonial La Republic du Cameroon military. In fact, this genocidal war is one of the most neglected by the international community." But of all of this, what is really intriguing is how La Republic du Cameroon, being responsible for the war and its effect, will offer aid instead of just ending the war. Why not just end the war you declared if you really care about these innocent citizens of both Cameroons? Well, moving on, we'll go on with another interesting case. Speaking of them causing the war and making things worse and still providing aid to abate the war they caused, civil society groups say hundreds of people rendered homeless by this week's colonial La Republic du Cameroon military attacks are seeking refuge in churches, and that some of the homeless are living with relatives and well-wishers within their community, according to the Roman Catholic Church in war-torn Ambazonian's northern zone. Undaunted gathers that right groups in both La Republic du Cameroon and Ambazonia have accused the military of torching scores of homes this week. of suspected liberation supporters, leaving hundreds of people homeless this holiday season. The colonial La Republique du Cameroon military, as usual, has denied burning any civilian houses. Reports reaching Undaunted say rights groups, civilians, and members of the church have been sharing videos of at least 12 houses burned on Thursday in a village in Jakiri local government area, Boyi County. In the videos shared on social media platforms, including Facebook and WhatsApp, a man identifying himself as a community leader accuses the La Republique du Cameroon colonial government troops of torching the houses. Quote, "We are at the road linking Jakiri local government area to Kumbo local government area, precisely at year where these buildings were razed by the colonial La Republique du Cameroon military, and the military has burned down buildings due to the incident that led to the loss of their colleagues, that is the military, and they resorted to burning down these buildings to ashes. That is a sign of weakness on their part." This is a victim who was lamenting. He said all this lamenting. Now, I just brought to you a story of someone that they dehumanized because that as an act of exerting their frustration because they couldn't get to Ambazonian restoration forces, they exact their frustration on innocent civilians. This is yet another story of buildings, at least 12 buildings burnt down, and they give aid on Boxing Day to the displaced Cameroonians. Well, it is really ironic. It is really ironic. Well, this is a video of another person to dehumanize as well. Well, Tar Emmanuel Tata is a member of the Cameroon Civil Society Group, and it says more than 40 houses have been torched by the colonial La Republique du Cameroon military this week in Yer, Kima, and Melouf, all villages in Boyi County. Tar says government troops organized reprisal attacks on civilians who the military accuses of collaborating with Ambazonian restoration fighters. It is really terrible that things have gone this way again with the burning of houses when people thought that everything was becoming normal. Tar said and continued that it is going to scare people from coming back home. Those who had returned to the war-torn Ambazonian will again find themselves internally displaced. And then you have La Republique giving them more aid and displacing more people. Very ironic and unthinkable, unimaginable. Government should use the right approach to solve this problem. This is what Tad thought. Government should use the right approach to solve this problem. Right groups say some of the colonial La Republique du Cameroon troops also looted homes before torching them. This is not the first time we've reported this kind of case. Tar said the right approach would be for government troops to stop searching homes in towns and villages suspected to host liberation fighters. He said government troops should withdraw and allow only police officers to maintain law and order in Amba land.